Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
I heard you went to some fancy music thing.
I went to a video game themed rock and roll concert.
And roll.
Yes, both of them at the same time. I felt uncomfortable calling it that. But no, our friend Mark,
Shepard,
who you may know from the intro music, has been asking both of us for years to go to him with him to a Bit Brigade show. Bit Brigade is a 5 or 4 piece band, depending on what you consider the person who plays the game. But they've been doing this shit for at least 10 years. But what they do is like differently arranged rock, guitar, bass guitar, drums, interpretations of video game music like aren't necessarily new. Like Tommy Tallarico has been doing that bullshit for like 20 years now at this point. But these guys, like I went to a Bit Brigade show here at a local bar concert hall place called Zanzibar. And like, I don't know what I expected, but I didn't expect what I saw, which was one of the loudest shows I've heard in my entire life.
Wow.
Like we get in there and Zanzibar is a pretty small venue, maybe like 500 people in there tops. And like what they do is, and forgive me if I'm like repeating something that's obvious, but they bring out a guy live to play. They did Castlevania 1 and Mega Man 2. And they bring out a speedrunner to speedrun Castlevania. And they play the soundtrack as he goes through the game.
Yeah.
And I forgot how fucking dark and sinister and awesome Castlevania 1's music is.
Yes.
Because they got deep and down in the shit. And it was so fucking cool to hear like their full guitar arrangements and just blasting drums on that shit.
Awesome.
Mark is also a musician, and he said he thought the drummer was going to break his arms off.
Wow.
Like how hard he was hitting those.
Huh.
And like they did Castlevania, and it took like 20 minutes to speed run. But then the Mega Man 2 speed run, they did the full game, and it took like 45 minutes to go through all this. And they would they did the opening credits, and then they did that slow pan up the building, and they played the fucking Wily Stage 1 theme song, like full guitars as that was going.
Wow.
As Mega Man's hair was blowing, and they lingered on the hair blowing sequence. And like whenever they would go into a boss room, they would stop, change the boss music, they would play a little riff to like get the health bar filling up.
Yeah.
They did all this shit. And like when I played Mega Man 2 in my youth, I never imagined shit like this being possible.
Yeah.
Like this was some of the most awesome shit of all time. And I'm just sitting there like a child, like wonder, like watching this, like holy fucking shit, this is actually happening. It was like someone arranged the soundtrack for me live in real time as someone played it. I cannot recommend this shit enough.
Wow. That's
like,
incredible.
4 stars, compliment to the chef. See a Bit Brigade show if you can, hopefully in a loud room where your ears will ring for the next day afterward. Increase Chris's tinnitus by +3.
Yeah. Wow. Huh. Well, if I go, I'm wearing earplugs.
Also, that show, $15.
Wow.
I don't know how much it is going to be in your local area, but $15 is a pretty good price for the experience that I got there.
Cool. I know those sounds were hot, but would you like to hear some additional hot sounds?
Yeah, dude, play them.
All right. Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast where we discuss classic JRPGs, chapter by chapter, beat by beat. This is, I don't think I said this last time, but this is Season 4, Part 2, Suikoden 2, right?
That's a lot of numbers, yeah.
I can't believe I got that out. My name is Chris. I'm joined by Eric. Hi, Eric.
Mr. Numbers.
Hey, what's happening?
Numbers.
Yeah, they go up sometimes. We're also joined by the RealNet, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live. They're also watching us on a YouTube stream right now. You too can do this at patreon.com/retroam. This podcast, specifically this episode, is brought to you by Viktor. Thank you, Viktor, for your support.
From the game?
No, Viktor with a C, my bad.
Okay.
Victor's last name is on here, but I don't want to dox Viktor.
Yeah, I agree. I just thought you were like being weird for a second.
Yeah.
Thank you, Viktor Actual.
This is Black Doom. You're welcome, Chris.
Just kidding, I'm Viktor.
Well, that was wild sounding.
Great. We're also joined by the FakeNet, our post-production AI companion, and the person, the entity, the creation that filmed all of the full motion video sequences in Shinobi Legions.
Initializing FakeNet.
Jest all you want, but it's better than anything you two Muppets could have made.
Shinobi Legions, what's that?
It's a video game.
Is that a Shinobi RTS?
It's the Sega Saturn Shinobi entry that was like produced at the height of Mortal Kombat digitized characters.
Oh god.
So they digitized Shinobi and they filmed these like interstitial FMV sequences in like a warehouse with 3 costumes.
That is insane.
It's wonderful. You should actually just check out the FMV cutscenes. The game, I like it. It's okay.
Cool. Well, Eric, what's not okay It's Jowie, because he left and we can't find him. We don't know where he's been.
Jowie's been addressing people with dots. He's becoming disillusioned or re-illusioned or initialized or radicalized or whatever. Something. Jowie is transitioning, like he's losing his innocence.
Yes. And he's not only has that happened, but Jowie has something is compelling him to do something, and he is formulating what that something is, I think, in the background right now.
Do you think that if him and Rio, two things here. One, when they were given this power at that cave, was one destined to be light and one destined to be dark?
That is a really good question. I think the answer is no. I think they
could both be light. Like, I'm not saying they had to, like, they unconsciously picked.
Were they both born under the same star? Because that's really what the question is going to be, because the main character of every Suikoden game, for the most part, there's an exception. There's one exception, is the Tenkai star, the chief star of heaven. And were Jowie and Rio both born under that star? And did they both have the opportunity to become the one to assemble the 108 stars of destiny? And only one could go out. Because remember, the legend of the Rune of Beginning was about the two brothers that went to war and created the world below them. It's kind of very a Gnostic feeling.
Second question. Oh,
did I ever answer the question?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Kind of.
All right. Well, that's my
good
answer.
Enough.
Yeah.
Second question. When I turned 16, it was a big deal in my school. Like, it's the age when you want to get a car. And we went to a rich kid school where a lot of kids got brand new cars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And do you think that getting this power when you're 16 and this immature, is Jowie and Rio like 16, 17?
We haven't done the profiles yet, but I think that...
They're children, right?
Yeah, but
okay.
But I'm pretty sure that the main character's age is unknown.
Is this like when you give an immature person a very expensive car that all they're going to do is wreck it or kill somebody or drive somebody insane? Because good things, I have no empirical data to cite this, but I think when you give a 16-year-old a 1999 Ford Mustang, as was the case with a kid in my class, like, no good can come of that, and your parents are fucking stupid.
I feel like the only stories you hear about those cars are when they get totaled.
Yeah, when they get totaled, when they drive over gravestones, when they kill somebody, when they run over a dog. Like, no one ever gets, like, a sports car when they're 16 and does, like, polite things with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... no one managed to have all this power.
Right.
Is what's happening here, at least for the car. But I guess the rune is like that. Like, is it a coincidence that children keep accepting true runes? I don't know. Because it was Ted, Tyr, and us.
Yeah.
So...
Raise the age limit of runes.
And Joshua.
It teleports me right outside of City Hall. I step forward and the music stops and the camera pans upward to reveal who?
It's Kage.
Ah, shit.
And Jowie.
Oh.
They're having a chat here. Kage seems to be on his way out here, so we're catching the end of this.
Yeah, he says,
end of this. Ninja vanishing. Then I can ask Jowie two questions. What are you doing, or who is that person? I feel like they're the same question, but I said, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's what he's doing, because me, the player, I know who that person is. It's Kage. He ninjas for money.
I played Suikoden 1.
Yeah. Jowie replies, yeah, Rio, this war isn't going to end for a long time. You and Nanami should run far away. We get a choice. What are you going to do? Which is the choice I hope you made. And yeah. I chose what are you going to do? Hell yeah.
Because that's the character I'm playing. Jowie spits dots. He says, if I was ever killed, I want you to take care of Pilika. Then he slowly walks off.
Like a stone cold motherfucker.
Yeah.
And when he said that, he like stepped forward and looked out over the city as he said that. Like that was a rehearsed line that he planned when Rio was going to ask him what he was doing.
Yeah.
I'm killed. You take care of the kid.
Yeah.
Jowie feels it's his responsibility to protect Pilika, but does not realize he's actually abandoning Pilika right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like he thinks he's fighting for her, but really he's not being the father, brother, mother, whatever figure that she absolutely needs right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because like pretty soon, the only person who's going to watch Pilika is the bar lady who wants to teach us about sex.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, do you think that's an acceptable mother figure? I mean, it probably is. It's fine.
Yeah.
Charlene was good. Whatever. Not you, dude.
Nope. Then we fade out, back in, and we're inside like well, we're not there. We're viewing the inside of a large study. There's a small table with two chairs on either side.
Crickets.
A bunch of flickering lamps, and Annabelle sitting at a table, accompanied by a door knock.
We'll find out this area is like to the left of her office in City Hall, right?
Yes, it's like her private office or private room or whatever.
She lives at work.
Yeah, I guess so. Do you remember in Suikoden 1, there was, I think, one scene that the main character was not present for? Do you remember the scene?
Butch and Barbosa?
Yeah. I think this is our first one of those in this game. We're getting it pretty early.
Yeah. I was aware of it, but I didn't know that it was just one time. That's pretty interesting. Victor enters. He was knocking, raises his hand to wave, and asks Annabelle if she's awake. Annabelle then says the most relatable sentence in this video game. I don't have time to sleep.
Yeah.
Victor provides an excellent suggestion, one that I would embrace when I have trouble sleeping if it didn't make me go pee-pee.
Yeah.
Which is, in that case, how about we have a little drink?
He pulls a bottle out of the ether. Like
Yes.
it was on his back of his belt or something, like in a video game.
I assume, which he's in.
Yes, wow.
I assume Victor always has this. Like he just has like the pirate rum with him or some shit.
Yeah. When I said the word video game, I was visualizing like a modern video game. Like
Yeah.
I was visualizing awkward hand somebody something animation
where
like
it
Mass Effect.
Magnetizes to their, yes.
Yeah, and then them putting it in their belt. And like I was thinking that thing was a video game. This thing we're talking about, not a video game.
No,
It's Suikoden.
this is real. This is important.
Yeah.
Victor summons a bottle of wine and the two walk over to a nearby table. Victor pours Annabelle a drink. And they are seated across from each other like buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Music. Moonlit night theme plays.
Theme of a moonlit night. And this is really, really interesting that we're getting another one of these because the last one we had was when we were in
Staring at the moon in jail.
in jail.
In jail.
Yeah.
And that was kind of
It's a moonlit night, Chris.
the beginning, the precipice of shit going down, things changing in this video game,
Yeah.
and now we're like actually on that evening is now here. So Jowie made this resolution looking at the moon that one night, and now we're here in the actual night that he's gonna do the action.
Is the moon cursing Jowie? Is he werewolf activated?
Is he Goku?
Is this Goku of a moon thing?
Yeah, he did was a child to cut his tail off, so he doesn't do it anymore.
So we got to cut Jowie's tail. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Victor says, I think you'll like this. It's from Kanakan.
Yeah, we've heard
Kanaka?
about that place before during Templeton's profile.
Oh, Jesus.
That's where he's from.
I don't give a shit about Templeton. I saved this one drink for you.
Mhm.
When my fort burned down, this one bottle was all I could carry.
Each time you press the button, he does another animation.
It's
and
directed.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
This is an extremely strong game on display here.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell if he's like really invested in their friendship or if he wants to do a sex later. I think it's one of the two, but like to say, I got this bottle of wine and my fort burned down and that was like 30 days ago and it's been on me since. I want to share it with you tonight. That is a pro move, sir.
It is.
Not like a pickup artist move. Like I actually want to impress a lady type move, I think.
I
don't
think
know.
it's just him,
I haven't
though.
asked a woman out in like 15 years, so I don't know.
I think it's just him though, right? Like that he didn't come preloaded with
You
that
think
line.
What do you mean? Like this just is what Victor does?
Well, no, that's just what he said. Like he didn't plan this whole like he's not doing smooth moves to the
I
lady.
don't know, man.
I mean, he is, but he's not, he's just acting naturally. He's acting like Victor. And
He has natural charisma, is what you're
yes,
saying.
this is just all coming out. He didn't come
Okay.
in there with a plan. This is not rehearsed.
Yeah, he just always has the one on him. He's like, oh shit, we should drink.
Yeah.
Annabelle replies, nice bouquet. Chris, I don't drink wine. Is bouquet an adjective to describe the smell of wine?
That's a question you're going to have to ask the fake net, Eric.
Fake net, can you use bouquet to describe the smell of bad grapes?
Initializing fake net.
The second of two definitions of bouquet is the characteristic scent of a wine or perfume. It's also a noun, you dummy.
She takes a sip. Victor asks how it is.
I hate that shit when you drink somebody, you take a drink of something and somebody's like, how is it? I'm like, I need to get more in my mouth to swirl it around, buddy.
Yeah.
She replies, don't stare at me like that. I feel like you're looking right into my heart. So, Chris, this is part of the game. Victor's game. Don't stare, because he's handing her wine and like staring at her like, hey,
Okay.
look at my eyes, Chris. Chris, hey, how was it? How's that water you're drinking right now?
It's gone, actually.
Oh, you think it's gone? You want some more? Here, get in here. I'm pouring you a cup.
No,
pull that forward.
I mean,
pull it
it's got your,
forward. I don't
get
give
your
a shit.
sippy
God
shit back
damn
in
it,
it. Like,
dude.
man, I don't want that fucking shit.
Yeah,
I got a
but-
refrigerator right there with
Yeah, but like they're sharing a drink. We could share a fucking.
Oh, well, we're sharing podcast
Okay,
words.
air. We're sharing
all these
air.
are going. No,
Thank you.
yeah, all these things are going into the same thing into the PC.
In the same feed,
Yeah.
and then the same audio file
They
that
mix
we'll
them
both touch
together.
on.
Yeah, like
people
that.
listen to it.
Uh-huh.
People will listen to us audio.
That's what we share.
Victor pulls back, sitting up straight in his chair. Sorry, just a bad habit of mine. You're a tough one. So that's like game not effective, pull back.
Yeah.
Right. Annabelle continues, woo, the people of the city are sleeping peacefully now, but the flames of war are coming here soon.
Ah.
Even if we gather all the state cops, I wonder what chance we'll have when we come back to face with Luca Blight's unit. Victor thinks it'll be 50-50. Chris, do you believe that?
50-50 shot to beat Luca Blight.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if when we finally face Luca Blight, if one of us loses.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because that'll even the odds. Perfect. Annabelle, that's actually a really clever answer. Shit. Annabelle closes her eyes and says, I can't. I mean, we can't lose. If we lose everything, all of those lives. When I think about it, sometimes I get so sad, I even think that maybe we should just surrender quietly. Which is the gamble of, if we surrender, perhaps they won't slaughter us all.
Yeah.
When they usually do.
Victor tells her that a leader can't think that way. He says everyone's fighting as hard as they can. They all have something they want to defend. You do too. Even if it's to save your life, there are some things you just don't do. What? At least that's the way I see it.
Yeah, I don't get the, at least there's some things you just, maybe like, I think he means take the responsibility by herself.
Maybe so.
Because she did say it's my city and not our city or some shit.
Then he takes a sip and then he stands up saying he needs all his strength tomorrow. After this drink, he's going to go to bed. He says, quote, lack of sleep makes you weak.
I think it makes you strong, Chris.
Which is a lack of sleep makes you weak. No, that's not what it is. Lack of sleep makes you strong.
What?
Lack of sleep makes you what? What did you say? I thought you
the line is lack of sleep makes you sleep. My personal belief is lack of sleep hardens you to the evils of the world and makes you not care about shit, thereby making you strong.
I thought that you were correcting what I said, and then I reread it, and it was confusing. And then you said some real ass shit, and now I'm really confused. But I just wanted to say that that's a real ass Victor line.
Oh yeah,
it really is.
Annabelle dives headfirst into hypotheticals. Say, if I was born in a different time, a different place, and I was a little shorter, I might have been a good girlfriend for you, huh? Chris, the game is effective. She's drinking the wine.
Yeah.
Also, shorter? I mean, I guess some men are freaked out by tall women. I don't really. I mean, that is like a thing people find threatening.
Yeah.
Right?
The game is effective, but there was no game plan.
You mean you don't think Victor came here to have relations with a lady who's powerful?
I guess
and taller than him, apparently.
I guess he.
I think that's an option for him.
I guess he had to bring the bottle. So
yeah,
okay.
Like you don't drink. I mean, you can share a drink between friends, and they do appear to be old friends. Like, this could go either way, I think, and he's prepared for either scenario.
Okay.
Because she's falling into it now. Victor replies to something surprisingly smooth and smart. Ha ha ha. Well, you're just fine the way you are, if you ask me. Maybe I'm not, though. And like, just fine the way you are either means just fine the way you are as a platonic person, or just fine the way you are as I don't require you to be shorter or a different time.
Yeah.
So again, this can be read either way.
Yeah.
Victor walks toward the door. He stops, not turning around.
He gets sad eyes too. Like his sprite looks downward.
Like lowers his head?
Yeah.
You're a fine, well-bred lady. Me? You couldn't be seen with me. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Let's unpack here.
Yeah, well-bred, not the right term.
Nope.
Mm-mm. That sounds like a dog.
Yeah.
I would go with
slight eugenics twist there.
Yeah, highborn, too important.
Yeah,
you're too much of an important person.
Right. The mayor of the city, like this person people respect, can't be seen shagging down with Victor's bare ass.
Yeah,
and I mean bare B-E-A-R.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad.
Like there's some optics issues there.
Yeah,
which Victor seems to be acknowledging. But like maybe he brought the wine to like, this would be fun to think about. Mm-hmm. Let's do a thought exercise where we have Demolition Man sex. What?
Think about how many times demolition sex is had in this game with a bottle of wine between two people.
You must say Demolition Man sex, not demolition sex. Big difference.
Sorry.
If you tell anyone you want to go have demolition sex, what does that mean? Like that, I think to me that means we're going to destroy the bed. Like the bed's going to fall apart. Somebody's got the headboard. I fucking killed Chris. It's been a while since I've done that shit. Fucking those color bars would be up there with the TV now.
I got tears in my glasses, man.
Tear McDull.
Oh, fuck.
Regular Tear McDull over here crying out shit to demolition sex.
I gotta collect myself.
If we didn't explain, the Demolition Man sex is where you have VR sex, by the way.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the fine classic. Woo. You can't do fluid exchange. It's disgusting.
Jesus Christ.
Superstars.
Victor waves and he walks off.
Yep. He raises his hand, waves goodbye. I think the last thing we said before the emotional breakdown was he looked down, but Annabelle turns her head back to her drink, faces forward and closes her eyes, and then the scene fades to black. Like after she leaves, she like resigns to her drink. I think resigns to finish the drink.
Yeah.
Crickets, we're at Leona's Tavern. Nanami is here with Pilika. She wants to go see Annabelle soon. Pilika delivers the dots, though, saying Nanami says she hasn't seen Jowie. Quote, there's nothing to worry about. He came home before like he promised. Nanami tells Pilika to be a good girl as she and Rio will be back soon. So people are just abandoning Pilika left and right here.
Yeah, they're laying on Pilika really badly.
I don't even know why Pilika's still here, to be honest. Like, I'm waiting to see what the narrative payoff for this is, because she's just like, you know that gnome you can take with you in Half-Life 2 everywhere? Like the episode 2? That's what Pilika is the fucking gnome we have to drag with us everywhere for some kind of emotional payoff later.
Oh, man. She's the, I'm Sam Porter Bridges and she's my package.
Yeah.
We're just carrying her through Konami. No, Konami didn't publish that. Never mind.
Carrying her through Konami.
I feel like, and I honestly have no recollection of how this pays off, but I feel like that's a full game payoff, a full game arc.
Yeah, just like the gnome.
Yeah, exactly. Because,
Nanami goes to her room and we have control. No one's at the front desk and I cannot save.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'll stay up. City Hall.
Yeah, it's night in Muse, by the way. When we walk, everyone's gone.
When night means the city is now in black and white while Rio is in color.
Cool, I guess.
When we get into City Hall, someone says your friend is already back there. And Nanami, horrified, turns to face Rio and unable to understand what your friend means.
Oh, okay. So I took that to mean more along the lines that she was confused, but you think she was horrified?
I think that she understood, like had been reading the room on Jowie and understood what Jowie was here to do.
Wow, okay. We cut to Annabelle's room. We hear door knocking. Annabelle assumes that it's Rio and calls him in. It is, of course, not Rio, as she and I expected it to be. It's Jowie. He says, "Excuse me, Annabelle, may I come in?" She wonders what he wants at this hour.
Did you notice he checks his 3 and 9 as soon as he walks in? He looks left and right.
Oh, did he? Okay, I missed that.
To, like, see if there's guards or anything like that.
Then something more impressive happens.
Yeah.
His portrait changes.
Yes.
His eyes are now closed. We're looking at like a side profile of his face, and his expression is sort of like, I have accepted that I am doing something wicked.
Yes. Punished Jowie.
I must. Yes, that's a good way to call it. He has drawn the knife as well during this portrait change sequence, and he says, "Your life, I came to take it."
Sedition plays.
Yes, a sedition is happening, I think, right?
Yes, precise. Excellent title.
Annabelle says, "You're not joking, are you?" Jowie asks her to please don't scream.
She puts her hand on her drink, breaks eye contact, and says that.
Yeah.
Closes her eyes.
Cool.
So there's some staging going on.
Is that another...
I think it's foreshadowing.
Micro, what was it called? Microforce?
Microforcing. I think that's actual forcing.
Okay.
As opposed to microforcing. Like, microforcing to me is low dosage. This, I think, by putting your hand on the glass is signifying what's about to happen.
Wow, that's really well directed.
And, like, she closes her eyes because Jowie is making eye contact, and she wants Jowie to believe she's just going to accept this by closing her eyes.
Yeah.
Annabelle then side-eyes him and says... Like, she actually has a side-eye animation, then says, "I don't want to believe it, but..." And Jowie interrupts her, bows his head, and says, "Forgive me." Annabelle no-sells that, takes a drink from her glass, and says, "To protect Muse and the state, and allow people here to live full, rich lives, this is what I must do. Do you have something like that? Something you'll do at all costs?" Chris, it works.
It does. Jowie turns his head and sort of lowers the knife for a second.
Yeah.
He confirms that he also has something he must do. She says, "Can you bear the burden, Jowie? Do you really have the resolve?"
And she faces him when she says that.
Mm-hmm. Jowie says that he does have a reason to bear that burden.
And I will?
And I will.
And I will.
What's the reason, dude? Pilika?
He's seen two things now. He's seen the reaction of Julia Blight to this war, where she's powerless.
Yeah.
Because I think she specifically said, "I'm a woman, I'm a princess, I can't do shit."
Yeah.
But she must do what she can to stop the fighting. Annabelle does have the power and is opting to fight to preserve her specific way of life. So Jowie's gamble here is that he is going to end the fighting as quickly as possible. He is going to take advantage of the fragmentation of the city-states and allow Highland to do its thing. Because although Luca Blight is there and is evil, Julia Blight is there as perhaps a symbol or an accessory to smoothing things over once the fighting is ended.
Do you think Jowie believes this will end the fighting?
Well, if there's no one to fight, will Luca Blight stop killing?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I agree. But I think that's also part of his gamble.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Jowie's seen that on display firsthand.
Yeah, like he's not doing this out of a loyalty to Highland. He's doing this because this is the way he thinks he can impact the war and end it as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Annabelle does dots, then says, "Even if I call for help, I suppose I can't stop that knife. Would you at least let me finish this glass?"
Annabelle looks pretty tough, but like, does she really think that at this point in time, like, does she really think she can't stop the knife? Because she's...
Yeah,
We just had a scene that said that confirmed that she is a large woman in terms of her physical stature.
Size, yeah. She's battle hardened too.
Yeah.
Would you at least let me finish this glass? It's from a close friend. It would be sad to waste it. And I'm wondering, is she buying time or resigned to her fate?
Yeah.
Jowie turns 90 degrees and lowers the knife again. He then faces downward and says, I'm sorry. And my next note is capital letters, holy shit.
Yeah. Jowie turns east for just a second and looks down and apologizes again. Annabelle throws her fucking glass on the floor and says, you let your guard down, boy, and then whacks him in the face.
You think she threw a glass on the floor? I thought she snapped it and broke it to like create a weapon out of it.
Oh, okay, that could have worked.
I only saw it once and it was really fast, so I'm not entirely sure. But it seems like she did the bar fight, glass break, throat cutter.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with that one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, maybe she did just punch him, but it seems like if you're coming at the king, you best not miss.
Okay, I thought she threw it at him and threw it on the ground or whatever to make him
a distraction.
Look down. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. So the coolest thing here is it fades to black. We don't see the resolution of that. But I saw that and I was like, well, that's it for Jowie. It's lights out.
Yeah.
There's no way that Jowie beat that. But I forgot that also Jowie has the power.
Yes.
And he doesn't give a fuck anymore.
And he's not my Gremio.
Right. Yeah, it's a good point.
We get control back. Music hasn't changed, though.
Yes.
Then we can walk down the hallway.
To that room is Rio.
It's cool that they allowed us the moment to get control back to kind of build the anticipation.
The agency, go figure out what that was. Go find out what just happened.
Yep. Annabelle's down. Jowie turns and acknowledges us. And Nanny is freaking the fuck out after seeing what's going on here.
Yeah.
I then can ask Jowie what happened.
Or say you didn't.
Yes.
What'd you do?
I said what happened.
Yeah, I accused this guy and he asked for forgiveness.
Yeah, and then he just runs away.
Yeah. He faces Annabelle's body, then sprints north as Nanami begs him to wait. Just then, Annabelle starts twitching on the ground.
Yeah.
Her eyes are closed in her portrait and she moans.
Yeah, she's got a death portrait, which is interesting that they gave her a death portrait just to enhance this moment because she's not a character that's only on screen for 3 or 4 scenes.
Yeah.
And
she gets a 24 silent clock.
Yeah, and then she gets her own portrait to enhance this moment. It's great.
If only Odessa had her own body in the stream portrait. Then who walks in?
Jess.
It's Chamberlain Jess.
Yeah.
Screaming to Annabelle that the Highland Army has made another surprise attack. Just as Rio and Nanami are crouching over Annabelle, Jess buys the frame job.
Yep, he's definitely blaming our asses for this.
What have you done? What the hell have you done? Explain yourself. A guard walks in and tells Jess the Highland Army has entered the city. That seems fast, right? Did Jowie split and go let them in?
I think that's exactly what happened. Because the next line is apparently the gates were open from the inside, so it had to be.
Yes.
Or Kage. Jess tells us not to move, then they run off to get a doctor.
Yeah. Annabelle is twitching this whole time, by the way.
Yeah. New music. Requiem of Sadness.
Requiem of Grief.
Oh. Annabelle speaks.
She says Rio's name.
Yes. I can say, try not to talk, or Lady Annabelle, how are you?
Dude. This makes me think that Rio is possibly a dumb boy. The lady's bleeding out that your best friend just killed. He's like, hey, how you doing? To be fair, if I were dying, I would want you to say that shit to me.
Yeah.
That would diffuse me and not make me as worried.
It's either that or that this line was translated without the context of the scene it was in, which I think is actually true of this
oh my
game.
God, can I help? It somehow becomes, how are you?
She then tells me to tell Jess that she doesn't need a doctor. She says, Rio, Genkaku's son, I meant to apologize to you for what the state and I did to Genkaku.
And there's ellipses between every single word.
Yeah. Nanami tells her not to talk, but I can honestly say that if this were me in this situation, I'd be like, come on, you just fucking tell me.
Yeah,
you're dying.
please tell me.
You've only got someone. Yeah, this is it.
Tell everybody your internet passwords as you die. It's the only way they're going to figure out anything.
She keeps going. She asks if we were happy with our life with Genkaku. I can tell her why. Why do you ask such a thing? Or yeah. Or yes.
Yeah.
Nanami, I say why. Why do you ask such a thing?
Okay, good. I said the opposite. What happened to you?
Yeah, Nanami says, of course, and then Annabelle says, at least she can rest in peace. She herself.
Mine's similar. She says, is that so? Then at least I can rest. Hurry, hurry, and escape. The Highland Army, they'll come here first. Hurry.
Yeah, I think that's what I got to. I paraphrased some of it. Mm-hmm.
Nanami protests, but she makes her last request that Rio and Nanami don't die. Live, Snake.
Yeah.
Now hurry. Hurry and run. Nanami stands up first, then Rio. They walk away. After they exit, Annabelle says, Rio, I think it was fate. I think fate sent you here.
Is fate unchangeable? Or maybe not.
I don't know. Imagine that you have to die part of somebody else's fate.
We have this interesting mirror moment of the moment of fate being when Flick's girlfriend died in the first game, and in the second game, it's Victor's not girlfriend, but Victor's love or the potential love interest.
Also, maybe Flick's love interest.
Yes, also true. Yeah, we could be double dipping here.
Determine your own sexual destiny.
Yes. Then we're outside at night. It's night still, and Suspicion is playing.
I've got tension alternate.
Probably. Rio, run and hurry. No, Rio, hurry and run. Says Nanami. We auto walk a bit, then Nanami lets me know that we need to do something about Pilika. She's like, oh fuck, Pilika.
She exists.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Look at this gnome.
We then get to the tavern. Leona tells us that Victor and Flick went to gather the army to try to buy a little time. They're going to rendezvous in South Window. She tells us that we need to escape too. She also tells us that a boat runs from Coronet south of here to South Window. So many Souths. Southland starring Justin Timberlake. Southland
Tales starring The Rock, Justin Timberlake, Wallace Shawn, Wood Harris, Amy Poehler, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Kevin Smith, Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, Sean William Scott, John Lovitz. Who else is in that movie?
But you went a lot deeper than I could, Eric. I was going to say Justin Timberlake.
I was thinking about that movie 2 days ago.
Pilika's now in the convoy, but no one else.
Yeah.
We run out of town. I think we have random battles here on the way.
Yeah.
Which is weird. And we get out and outside the gates, and Nanami says that should be far enough, which doesn't seem far enough.
Well, she also stops to wonder how many times we've run like this, which she's making an excellent point.
Yeah.
We just keep running.
And that's interesting, too, that this game has set up... I mean, if you count the beginning of the game when Luca Blight attacked the Unicorn Brigade, that's 3 escapes that Rio himself has made.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you have a game like with this kind of rhythm where there's going to be a lot of scenarios to set up the main story, you usually only have one like this, max 2. This game's already had 3. We escaped the Merc Fort, the Highland Camp, and now here.
Also, do you think Leona, as a Merc tavern owner, is she gets disappointed whenever her town gets burned out and she loses her latest bar, or do you think she's used to that?
Well, it feels like Fort Flichter had been there for a while, know? So
maybe not. Then we're at Pilika tries to go back, then cries when Nanami stops her. She tells Pilika Jowie will be fine, which is a lie, and we can't go back. Fade to black. I'm like, now we're on the world map. No? We're under a tree or some shit, right?
Yeah, it's like a night scene. It looks really similar to the Muku Muku tree.
Yes.
From that alternate perspective that was in the bygone days flashback thing.
Yeah.
The credits scene at the beginning of the game.
The moon is full again, which seems impossible. Does that mean it's been however many weeks since we were in jail?
Yeah, I wrote 3 days ago, but now I remember them saying it's been a week earlier. So maybe
we shouldn't pay attention to this?
That, or this is not a cubic cycle.
Okay. All right. The moon works differently here.
Yeah.
Rio is rubbing his nose or eyes. Pilika is asleep with her head in Nanami's lap. Nanami finally has time to talk. Is it true? Did Jowie really do that to Annabelle? No, he would never do such a thing. So what are you going to do now? Do you know what I want? I want to go somewhere far away. And this is what she almost said earlier before Jowie came home.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to fucking run and leave.
She's being
rational, scared.
Well, she's being rational, but also she's been placed in denial 2 days in a row because she was in denial that Jowie was never going to come back. Now she's in denial that what she just fucking saw.
Yeah.
So she's been doubly traumatized in the past week.
I don't know. There is a strange human sense when a truth in your life to be true, and then someone does a betrayal and suddenly everything's different.
Yeah.
And it really lets you have a new perspective on life where it's oh, I guess that was possible. And I guess she's still on the numbness part where there's confusion and there's no right answer because your head's full of dumbass emotions.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point.
Which is totally rational, but it's therapy doesn't exist here. She's got Rio and a mute child.
Yeah, and she hasn't seen her squirrel in a month.
Yeah. Yeah, where's my damn squirrel and my wolf friend that I was best buds with forever, except it was 3 days. Damn it.
They should have at least had Ricky Maru there eating rice in the bar the whole time.
With a happy grin on his face.
Yeah.
Rice. She continues, far away from all this war, somewhere in the mountains maybe, we could lead a quiet life. We could farm a small field, just the 3 of us. We get a choice.
Yep. I hit the button too fast, Eric.
No. The choices were that would be nice or that would never happen now.
Yeah, so at least I said the nice answer.
Me too. Fuck destiny. I say that would be nice. Nami replies, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Liar. I'm sorry, you're right. That will never happen now. Forget about Jowie. I'm tired now. I'm going to sleep. And I'm that's a weird sentence, but I assign that to part of her mania that she's going through right now.
Yeah. She really needed to go to sleep.
Yeah. Never have these arguments when you're tired.
We hear birds.
Fade to black, comes back up.
Birds.
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 Morning. Tree. Everyone wakes up and Nanami reminds me that we are headed to Coronet. You can see like Pilika was sleeping in like Nanami's lap and she's like peeking up, rubbing her eyes. It's really sweet.
She blinks. We can go after Pilika washes her face. And tells Rio to go wash his face in that stream too. Fade to black as the camera pans right.
Mm-hmm.
World map.
Yeah, world mapping.
I go to the White Deer Inn to save my game, but nobody's fucking here and I can't.
Oh,
I just
really?
want to save my game. I just want to save my game.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Instead, I go to Coronet because I was worried when we go to Coronet, I'll get roped into some bullshit where I can't save immediately.
Yeah, that's true.
Coronet?
Yeah, we're in Coronet.
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 Music?
If you listen carefully.
That's exactly what I have.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Nanami reminds us that we can take a boat from here to Cuscus on the other shore.
Yes.
She says a cute young map maker told her that.
It's Templeton.
Palika spits some dots. Yeah, and this reminded me I need to go recruit Templeton, so I did.
Okay.
And
you could get through now?
Yeah, I could get through there, but I can't. Like, Anita's going to have to come in her second location.
Coronet is a more subdued town, appearing to be at the bottom of a cliffside nestled between some rocks. It's got some nice stonework for a footpath, complete with raised stone columns and makeshift fences.
Mm-hmm.
There's a tree in the center of town, along with some carefully kept bushes throughout. A wooden bridge up top provides access to the inn, and multiple stone stairs create pathways to different levels of the natural environment.
Yeah, coastal boat-looking place.
Yep,
yeah,
that'll also do it.
Yeah,
very good.
It's there's a lot of shipping and receiving is done here.
Yeah,
it seems
it's like ultra port. Like some other towns have port. This is port town.
This game doesn't really dip too deeply into like what are the economics of this world, but there is like evidence of like shipping and trade happening here, which could be part of the reason that this like both the alliance between the city-states and the aggression of Highland could be factors as well. Because remember we heard earlier about Rice and Teresa from Green Hill and stuff of that nature. So good stuff.
NPCs?
People to speak with is what I call them now.
Nice. That's a much better popular term.
There's a Highland soldier here.
Yeah,
I guess
weird,
they don't have bulletins of us right now saying wanted, these fuckers. The Highland soldier says that the state army ain't shit. We could finish them anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
One guy notices I fled from Muse, but he says the ships aren't going anywhere, meaning the boats that we're going to plant.
Yeah, that's like the beefy man looking guy.
Yeah.
There's a guy in the brown coat that says those Highland rascals won't let us take our ships out.
I like the word rascal.
How are we supposed to catch some fish? All this guy wants to do is catch a fish.
I love fish. I had fish tonight.
He's a master fisherman. I had fish tonight too, but it was like frozen fish from the from the freezer. But it was,
That's fine. I had fish that when I cooked it, last day to sell it was yesterday, and I bought it today, but I still ate it. I'm going to eat it tomorrow too.
Even though you already ate it?
I cut it in half. It was a large salmon side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get some fish on the grill.
Fuck yeah.
Fish on the grill's good.
Yeah.
I got one of those things that you can put them on, like it's a iron thing you put in the grill, heat it up, to fish on there.
What, nice. Like in an oven, you mean?
No, in the grill.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Prove it.
Hank Hill.
Propane. Some wandering kid off to the right wants to eat I almost wrote rat meat. Wants to eat real meat, not just fish all the time, which I can sympathize with as a carnivore.
As a Catholic.
Yeah.
Okay. Some lady also says that her dad's a good blacksmith.
Okay. That's probably her father. You mean her dad.
Yeah.
A soldier laughing says they took over Coronet after Muse fell, so this place has already been also dominated.
Yeah, maybe at the same time.
Slept. Yeah. That's all I got for random NPCs. Next, I went into some buildings.
Yes.
Where do you want to go first?
I went to the inn first.
Okay.
Well, actually, before I went to the inn, let me tell you about the items that are outside the inn,
okay.
Eric.
Yeah,
we have a very impressive bonsai, a large potted plant, a sealed jar, and another very impressive bonsai.
Oh, man, a sealed jar.
Yeah. Wonder what's in that sealed jar. Pickles, probably,
eyeballs.
Right? Yeah, okay, eyeballs, sure. Inside, there's a guy in a room. He says he can't get the south window because of all this shit. There's a Highland soldier in here.
Yes.
That says that Annabelle was a fool, killed by a spy.
That hurts to hear, man.
Word travels fast. There's also some additional items in here that this place is decored with.
Tell me about the items.
Decorated. There's a handsome bonsai, a gorgeous bonsai, an outstanding bonsai, and an additional gorgeous bonsai.
I think bonsais are naturally gorgeous.
I agree.
Yeah.
But one of these is outstanding, one is handsome. Those are just trimmed to perfection.
Yeah.
A lot of bonsai in this town. I guess it's part of the local culture. Yeah. Downstairs, there's like a tavern.
Below
area.
the inn.
Yeah. There's much sadness overall with the NPCs in here about the lack of fish in these parts because of this Highland takeover.
Yeah, there's some economic fallout. Can't get any work done.
Yeah.
Some guy in a room by himself says he really likes this town and the fish too, and he gives me what? Did you get this?
A recipe number 5.
Hell yeah.
I like having the 5th recipe.
Me too.
Also scattered about down here is a barrel filled with salt, a barrel filled with dried meat, a jar filled with soy vegetables, and a jar filled with pickled plums.
Soy vegetables, nice.
Yeah.
I don't like plums though. Fuck those things.
More items in the back room, Eric. There's a shelf filled with all sorts of junk. Children's book, barrel filled with salted fish, jar filled with miso, and jar filled with pickles.
Do you think all sorts of junk was a localization mercy? Like, I'm not going to
Yeah,
write
fuck
just all
it.
sorts
I don't
of
know.
junk.
Ask me that again when we get to something very specific later.
Okay.
Where to next, Eric?
Let's go to NPC house in center of town with no observable purpose.
Yeah, is it the longhouse that kind of stretches across the river and it's got a balcony and stuff? I think it's the only house on the screen.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So there's a dude in here talking about branches.
How he's trimmed the branches on his little potted plant.
Oh, that's the bonsai.
Bonsai.
The bonsai
yeah,
culture.
They're
here.
bonsai men.
Yeah.
The woman in the house compares having a big family and doing laundry all the time to being in a way. What?
Being. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, this guy, by the way, he's got a bonsai with a description. It is called Bonsai Given Lots of Light. So I guess, sure. There's also some items in the bedroom, difficult books and books in a foreign script.
I wrote a word wrong. The woman in the house compares having a big family and doing laundry all the time to being in a war.
Oh,
Not a
okay.
way.
Family is war. War
Yes,
is hell.
war is
family is hell.
Family.
War-
Dominic Toretto, family.
Okay. Everyone in here, a couple of characters wonder if I'm from Highland, which is true. There's been a couple people that had noted, like, are you from Highland? And, like, your accent is weird.
Yes.
Things like that. There's been a couple of that.
I wonder if that is going to come in handy of us, like, passing by. Like, maybe we got in that Highland camp for a while because we spoke like Highlanders.
Yeah, that's true.
Not the Highlander Christopher Lambert.
Yeah, there can be only one.
Right. Blacksmith.
Yeah, blacksmith.
They'll sharpen our shit up to level 5.
Yeah, there's a barrel filled with gold leaf, jar filled with salt, barrel filled with black sand, and a shelf full of blacksmith tools. Also, a well cared for bonsai. So the blacksmith also partakes in the bonsai trade
I
here.
just want a salt barrel.
Also, a plant wilting from heat and a plant wilting from heat.
Okay, great. 2 of them.
Yes.
Same time.
I wrote planet, which is ours. Oh, there's an item shop there. A person says, out of the way, I'm fixing supper. A kid wonders if we're from Highland. The adult in here says they can't get medicine from Toto or goods from Muse. Our businesses are in big trouble. There's a shelf with drops of kindness scrolls. Shelf filled with medicine, in quotes, like a medicine.
Yeah, medicine, son.
And shelf with foreign things.
Some edibles.
Now we can go down to the next screen on the dock area. Like
Yes.
I said. There's a bunch of shit stacked out here when we first go in. Like, if there's some shipping going on.
You can't go over to the right.
There's a jar filled with salted squid, an antique vase, a jar filled with soy sauce, stuffed crate, barrel filled with fish scraps, and an oil-filled barrel.
Ew, fish scraps.
All kinds of barrels.
Yeah.
Fish scraps. What do you use fish scraps for?
Dog food.
Fake net, what do you use fish scraps for?
Initializing fake net.
Bones, scales, and guts from fish that you eat can be used to make your own starter bucket of fish emulsion. Fishing is not only a fun summer activity for the family, but it can also have a positive effect on your garden. Pump me full of that emulsified organic fish material.
Heathcliff food.
Yeah, that's right. Pull out that fish bone. There's a guy in overalls working this shit. Tells me to be careful or I might get hurt. Another guy also at work says, what do you want? Are you from around here? Another worker says that fish are so nice and fatty, you'll want to throw yourself right into the lake after them. Chris, what would you dive into a lake for?
Nothing because I can't swim.
Oh, good point, yeah. I've always thought about whenever I'm on boats or in oceans, I take off my wedding ring because I don't want to have to be responsible for finding that if I drop it. Like, it is a nightmare of anxiety to lose that into a body of water.
Yeah.
I would go in for that, or like, I think I dove into a lake for a Nike hat when I was like 13. It was a Nike hat.
Yeah.
I was into one of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blue. Another worker tells me that if I mess around on the fisherman's ship, I'm likely to get beat up. Do you think that's true?
You don't mess with the boatman.
No, they'll beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. Now we go down another screen.
Yes.
This is like the actual docks area, the actual port area. There's some dude out here saying they have fishing boats and boats that'll take you to Couscous. Across the lake.
As it pans down, there's an inaccessible area off the right or left with 2 cats, orange and black, hanging out. And I love when cats hang out.
Yeah, it's a cat hangout.
Did you talk to the guy, a lady at the bottom that says a trader named Shu comes here sometimes, and he's so smart and handsome, it's impossible not to admire him?
Yes.
Because Shu pops up later in the game.
Yeah, this is the first mention of Shu. Shu's a character in this game, if you can't tell. There is An older man that says if there was a hero like Kinkaku around these days.
Yes.
Or if only.
He can't believe that shit happened to Muse. He yearns for there to be a hero like Kinkaku.
Yeah. Also, there's like there's several actually like storage facility looking places, like shipping facility type deals.
Yeah, where they hold the stuff. Sure.
Yeah. Outside, there's a barrel filled with healing herbs, a barrel filled with antitoxin, and a sick looking plant, and an adorned wood stand.
Bro, this plant looks sick.
Yeah.
There's a guy behind a desk with some kind of map. He's talking about loading shit into bays. These are working men, Chris. These are men at work. Also, other towns we go to, there's always a guy behind a desk, like a foreman, directing all this shit.
There's a little kid holding a cat. You see that kid?
No, what's he doing?
Oh, little kid. At first, I thought the kid was like had a different kind of sweater on, but it's actually holding a cat. It says, hee, my cat Mew is spoiled. So I always have to hold her like this. There's a Highland soldier, maybe a couple different Highland soldiers that mention that Luca has shut down all the
it's by Luca's direction.
Then we get to the boat part.
Yeah.
And party out briefly.
It's a kind of a long walk down here, too.
Yeah. A Highland soldier stops us from trying to get on the boat. Nanami tries to stutter through something to get us here, but I'm like, I wish I could talk.
Right. Because she's fucking this up.
Yeah. And that's when that other soldier says that Luca Blight says no ships leave the port, this is like the trigger to the next event in the game.
Yeah. Nanami whines and says we can't go to Couscous without a boat. Some guy in white pants, a marvelous purple shirt, and long white hair is at the dock, but we can't access him without the soldiers stopping us.
Oh,
You
yeah.
see this guy?
Mm-hmm. He looks like a samurai dude.
Yeah.
He's a Ronin.
Is that a guy?
Yeah, it's a guy.
Okay, because he looks like a guy.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I think he's just there because it's like, oh, maybe I should come back here later because he looks unique.
So then, dejected, we go back to this inn. I walk in and save my game, finally.
Good job.
And who do I see?
Well, before that, if you try to go in the inn upstairs from the tavern, they blocked it off so
you can't.
So the event can trigger properly. And some guy's like, sorry, I'm fixing the stairs.
Nice.
Which is a really creative way to block that off.
I'm fixing the fucking stairs, man.
But we go in there and it pans over and we see our friends, the street performers, Ellie, Rena, and Bolgan. Ellie is like in the middle of being on one right now. She's like hollering down the hallway or something. They're all just cowards. They call themselves soldiers. Isn't there even one of you that knows how to act like a man?
Chris, could the soldier not achieve an erection, or did they bail on the knife-throwing trick? How has masculinity been threatened?
I don't think this is the sex one because Ellie is not the sex pest.
Oh, okay.
It's Rena.
Right.
So
it must have been a knife reluctance?
Yeah, or maybe, I think, we find out in a minute they're trying to get a boat, so maybe they're just trying to get somebody to agree to get them on a boat, maybe. Rena tells her to stop. They're not listening. She says maybe there's a handsome young man that could help poor little me out. Ellie tells her that this is shameless.
No way, no shame.
They eventually, during this whole conversation, they're like slowly walking down the hallway.
Yeah, like
this,
kind of chatting as they walk away.
Yeah, which is another kind of staged scene, even for something relatively minor. They eventually make their way to us. Ellie is amped, and she hops and shoves her way up to Rio.
Yeah, she runs at light speed.
Mm-hmm. She wonders what in the shit we are doing here.
Good question.
She thought that Rio went back to his hometown.
No, we didn't.
Nope.
Well, we did.
Nanami, we did. Then they tried to kill us. Nanami pushes her way to the front of the conversation and asks who these people are.
She gets in Rena's face.
Ellie introduces herself as the person who saved Rio's life.
Yeah.
I can then say, saved my life, or it's been a long time.
I forgot that these two had never met.
Yeah.
Like, these are two different
That was on our
timelines.
way to meet Nanami. Yeah. And I said, save my life. What'd you say?
I said save my life.
Yeah. So Ellie ignores this, though. And then...
Well, she says it's true. She tells me it's true. We must have a lot of stories to tell.
Oh, I thought she was just ignoring the fact that I said... Because I think Rio's questioning, like, you really saved my life? I don't know if you saved my life. You came with me. You helped me. But did you save my life?
I thought it was sincere because we wouldn't have made it past the Mist Monster without
Well, that's true. Yeah, she says you must have lots of stories to tell.
It fades to black, and I assume we told them.
Yeah, we're back in the tavern. We're doing a little JRPG, catch up our other characters to the plot sequence. But we've all taken a seat, and it looks like Bolgan and Pilika are now friends because they're down there having a good time. They ask how Rio is doing. Rena is now assuming that Nanami is Rio's guardian force, GF.
Girlfriend.
Yes. Nanami clarifies that she is Rio's big sister.
Yeah.
Rena says, good news, right, Ellie? And Ellie tells her to shut up. She's embarrassed.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rena hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoos and says, by the way, what are you doing here, Rio?
No, she hoo-hoo-hoos, then asks Rio what he's do.
Oh, yeah.
In here.
Yeah, that's
sorry
right.
to interrupt him, sorry.
Another fade out, another story. Ellie says their story is pretty much the same. Business was no good in Highlands, so that they decided to move elsewhere. I don't think it's the same. We've escaped from two burning places.
Yeah, we're kind of responsible for the last one.
Yeah.
Sort of, Count Jowie.
Yeah, we are.
Who they haven't mentioned yet.
Our friend did a sedition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't ask. Weird. No one asked until Victor.
Nami
Please note, by the way, that Pilika now is at the point where she's just bouncing off Bolgan's belly.
Yes.
It's wonderful.
It's she's like running full speed into Bolgan over and over.
Yeah.
Chris, are the children playing?
They are.
Okay.
Yes. Did we find out that Bolgan is like 32 or 6? I don't remember. Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Either one's funny.
Yeah.
Nami has an idea, but Ellie cuts her off and says the Highland Army will punish anyone who takes their boat out, so nobody will do it for them. Nami asks Ria what we should do, and Ellie and Rena face him, and then it fades to black. When it comes back up, I'm outside the tavern, but I go back in there. Rena asks to read my fortune, and Ellie thinks they're very unlucky to get stuck here. Bolgan wants to stay. There's no direction here, Chris, so I have to look up where to go next. And that's in the next podcast.
Yeah, when we find out where we have to go, when we're back out here on these streets.
And next, we're going to meet a character from Suikoden 1, and you'll never believe who it was.
Next.
So just chill till the next episode.
Initializing RealNet.
Okay, let's...
Demolition sex.
I think I'm now immune to that.
All right.
Like
you just throw it out randomly. You already got it all out once.
Yes. Okay, hello, RealNet. Shy Guy 32 says, fuck yeah, Brigade rules.
Yeah, they do, man. I was super impressed. I like when you can tell the band gives a shit.
Eric Van Nine and Cal L says, always wear earplugs to shows. I don't really go to shows, so I don't know that.
I fucked up.
Yeah.
Because you can still feel the sweet vibrations, even if you have earplugs in. Like, I'm used to seeing, like, folksy dream pop in concert, not full bands.
Psycho Paladin Jr. says, Jowie is legit going full squall, never go full squall.
Never go full... Well...
I don't think he's going squall, because squall is...
the determination's there.
I think that the comment is more along the lines of the dots and the silence.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, in that respect, he is, but if Squall were in these shoes, he would still be loyal to Highland.
Yeah.
Unless...
Yes.
Like, unless he had received
the state can do no wrong.
Yes. Well, just that's his employer. As long as he's under the employ of somebody, that's the mission. See Final Fantasy VIII podcast, we already did that. Eric Von Ein says, I do actually think the Black Sword rune is influencing Jowie to be more reckless than he would have been, but the decisions are all his own. Yeah, do you think it like unlocked something in Jowie? Like when he summoned that rune, did he not just cause destruction? Did maybe he deepen his bond with it? Like remember when like Soul Eater went level 3 and he got more shit? Like did that happen? Did he get level 4 right there or something?
You got a new Mustang and that power corrupts just by itself.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter what the answer to that question is because either way it's what happens. Now that Jowie, I'm going to ask you this. This is what I was going to ask you during the podcast. But we can do it now. Now that Jowie has taken the turn that he did, and obviously I think you saw it coming. I think you predicted it even before you.
Yeah, I had no inclination.
Yeah,
I just it's not a very complex game.
But if you remember in Suikoden 1, there was kind of the idea of like who's the final boss, because like early in the game you're like, okay, the final boss is going to be Taylor McDowell, or the final boss is going to be Wendy.
I thought it was Tia.
Or it's going to be Barbarossa. Like who could it be? For this whole game, to this point, it's been, the final boss is going to be Luca Blight. Yeah. But now, is the final boss going to be Luca Blight, or is the final boss going to be Jowie?
That's a good question.
So that,
I predict, again, having no thing that like Jowie like turns good at the end, and Vader Emperors him out. Like does the Vader to Emperor to Luca. Yeah. Well, I think there's going to be a lot more foreshadowing stuff, I think. I'm not really sure how much more we get like from Jowie's perspective. Like, is he just gone for a while until we run into him again, or do we see anything? I don't remember. I think it'd be badass if you never see him again. I know that's not the case, but it'd be bold. Eric Van says, Victor and Annabelle definitely give off we banged energy. Yeah. Flipmanic says the bouquet is the aroma. I mean, yeah, that's what I gathered from context, but it's just an expression I hadn't personally heard or remembered that I heard, I guess. Dubert reads Victor and Annabelle's relationship differently and thinking it looks more like a platonic thing. Like they're war buddies. Yeah. Sharing a drink. Also possible. Just the girlfriend comment, if I were shorter, that made me think. Cal-El says Demolition Sex is my favorite Atari Jaguar game. Hell yeah. Attack of the Mutant Flipmanic says Demolition Sex is Victor and Flick after a night out. Cook Page says Demolition Sex is my Red Hot Chili Peppers cover band. Psycho Paladin Jr. says yes, we will kill bed. Yes. Flipmanic says always good to see Chris crying. Kill the bed. Duber says Victor's sex themed demolition company. Telephone Ghost says demolition sex implies the existence of construction sex. It's where you build something together. Eric Von says we'll wreck your walls and your pipes. With pipes? No, and your pipes. Okay. Duber says speaking of the Annabelle retaliation scene with the bottle, assassination scene, I guess. Duber says, whenever I see this scene, I always go, come on. Annabelle could come out on top with a shattered wine bottle this time. Yeah, like it's one of those things you want to believe will actually happen, even though you know it can't change.
Flipmanic says Jowie's like, if there's no one to fight, there's no more war.
Yeah.
Shaggy32 says they gave Annabelle a death portrait, but didn't give Nanami a second portrait. Like expression-wise. See the Power LLC says, motherfucking Jowie asked for a lot of forgiveness past this point. Cal L says the just keep running story is a nice change from the usual JRPG quest where you're pursuing something. Especially early. Like, we're just running and running and running.
Yeah, I agree. It's unique to any game I've played thus far that I can think of.
I guess Faye was kind of running, but there was a lot of other shit going on too.
Yeah, he was captured in addition to being running.
Eric Von Nine says, Highlanders now all canonically speak like Christopher Lambert.
Yes. His strange accent.
Shaggy32 says Joey may have committed some light treason.
And George Oscar. No, it's just George Blues.
Flipmanic says the final boss is Muse City Music.
Yeah.
There's a worse song coming up though, so.
I mean, it's not, like, I liked it the first 10 or so times. It's just we've been exposed to it so many times. Like, it's silly and wacky.
Yeah. Well, that's all for the RealNet tonight. Thank you, RealNet, for joining us here on the stream on YouTube, because you're a patron and you can go there. This episode is a production of Retrograde Amnesia, recorded on July 25th, 2022. You can find us on Twitter at RetroAmnesiaPod. Email us at podcast@retrogradeamnesia.com. I hope. Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/retroam. Get early access and bonus episodes for $3, a mini-series for $5. It's Terra Enigma, Parasite Eve, Star Ocean, Xenogears Perfect Works, Radical Dreamers, all kinds of good stuff. Yeah, something in the future that's probably been made by now. Check the website. Access to the RealNet for $1. Thank you, Mark, for the music.
You're welcome, Chris.
Eric, until next time.
Yeah, let's just kill a god.
True runes are gods.
Yes.
So we're going to kill a god.
Hell
and
yeah.
now you may go back to sleep. Okay, we're recording. Note to self, this is episode 11. Rename the file. Reinstall Windows. Do it now. Okay.
I promise.
It's happening tonight. I forgot to press record for the first time ever, Eric, in like 100 and...
I know about ever.
Ever? Like for 10 minutes straight? I've always... No, I don't think we've ever done it.
Not forget, we've certainly lost audio before.
We've lost audio, yes.
We've never, like, Kristen pushed the red button before.
Yeah, that's what I was referring
Ascending
to.
to new highs.
Yeah, well...
See you later.
Ninja vanishing. Ninja vanishing.
Ninja vagina.
Yeah, sure.
That would be like there should be porn of that where you have to like have sex and also like destroy everything in the room with like tools.
Oh.
But like not violent.
I can't fucking see. Got too much shit on my head.
Got too much fucking shit on me.
Let me do one more quick save and I'll remember to press record.
Annabelle then faces Jowie, then says, "Can you bear the burden, Jowie? Do you really have the resolve?" Excellent question from a mature leader. Jowie bows his head and says, "Yes, I've got a reason to bear that burden." And we already did this shit, didn't we?
Yeah.
Or no, we didn't. Yes, I have already something I must do. I don't remember.
Yeah, we did.
Annabelle does dot. Well, whatever.
Yeah, that was good. Sorry, I didn't know you had something prepared for that.
I just thought of it.
Oh, okay. I think you should always think about that movie.
That movie's it's better now than it was then.
That's what I've heard.
Don't read if you really want to get in there, read all the graphic novels and shit, because then you can figure out The Rock, aka Boxer Santeros, was like a clone made through coffin shit. Never mind.
Okay.
It's a fantastic. I like, people give it shit, but you should see Southland Tales.
Okay.
Do you want to do the end? How far do you want to go?
I'm not sure how much time that we lost from me fucking cackling,
That's good.
That was not good. What are we doing? Oh, I went by, let's see.
We're going to take the ATM machine with us to Mexico.